people? Another episode of The World is Burning. If you're new here, welcome. Take a seat. We're going to watch some videos looking at super high car payments today. This channel, we're just looking at the economic issues everyone's going through. And we're going to be documenting the 2024 financial collapses. Today we're looking at super high car payments. This is one of the worst things people can get signed into. It stops you from building wealth. It's one of the biggest drains on your money. Let's see what's going on in the world.
A record amount of Americans are paying $1,000 or more on monthly car payments. Almost 15% of drivers who finance a new car towards the end of 2022 are paying more than $1,000 a month. This is mainly because of two reasons. Number one, the interest rates are making it more expensive to borrow money. Number two, the supply chain issues are making it more expensive to make a new car. For example, the chip shortages that we all experienced. Whether your car is new or used, if you have a monthly car payment, let me know how much you're paying. I hope it's not.
Yeah, I hope it's not over $1,000 a month as well. You really shouldn't be doing that, guys. I think we all know that intrinsically, because it's not just the $1,000 a month. It's the insurance you're going to pay on that. It's the maintenance. It's the tax. It's such an expensive way of just getting about places. And if it's not a really good car that holds its value well, you're in for a big nightmare. I mean, a lot of these people are going to find that they're going to be underwater right now with the cars because they were paying too much for them and the value's dropped off. Stay
Buying
away
a
from
car with a
£1,000
huge
car
car payment is making you poor. The average car payment is $725. That is absurd. To make that even worse, the average auto loan term is 68.6 months. That is over.
Yeah, that's over 5 years. That's a trap that they're trying to get everyone into now. You'll notice back in the day, that was like the maximum they'd ever do. Now it's like 8, 9, 10. I saw one for 12 years the other day. I'm looking for a new car right now. Absolutely insane. But the interest you're paying over these 5 years, it's just throwing money away. Don't ever go over 3 years. I think this the money guys to say you want to put like a 20% deposit down, have it for 3 years, and pay less than 30% of your take-home pay.
5 years, and the average interest rate is 9%. No matter what you do, that is absurd, and it's going to make you poor. The average income in America is $31,000. But even if you added two of those together, because most people have joint income, it's still only roughly $65,000 per year. At $65,000 a year, you're bringing home roughly $5,400 a month gross. Minus taxes, you might take home $4,000. Minus $725. The average insurance around $300, maybe a little less if you have a good driving record. Either way, it's almost $1,000 plus gas. To drive your car, you're wasting a quarter of your income every single month. A car with a...
Exactly, and it disappears every month. It's like rent. It's just, you get nothing for it apart from using it for a month. It's terrible.
Asking salespeople, what's the highest car payment you've ever seen?
Oh my lord.
What's the highest car payment you've ever seen?
1,200.
Jeez.
Alexa, what's the highest car payment you've ever seen?
Over 1,000.
Yeah, it's basic now.
Amazing.
You know, back in the day, if you said I have £1,000 car payment, people would go, wow, that's mad, you must have a Rolls Royce. It's not even a nice car that you get now for £1,000 a month. And it's just so accepted. It's mental.
What's the highest car payment you've ever seen?
1,500.
Jeez.
Brian,
Wow.
what's the most expensive car payment you've ever seen?
$1,600.
Yeah, $1,600. That's almost 20 grand a year. Ugh.
Car prices in the US have been getting absolutely insane. I don't know if you've been car shopping lately, but it's getting pretty intense out there. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, car prices have been skyrocketing since 2020. And if you think that inflation is finally starting to cool off, well, think again. The consumer price indexes for both new and used cars are actually much higher than they were just 4 years ago. In fact, the average transaction price for a new car has jumped nearly $12,000 in just the past 5 years. And so if you're thinking, well, that's okay, I'll just get a used car then. You're not going to do much better there because used car...
Yeah, leave me a comment in the comments, guys. I think there's going to be a big market correction. I'm starting to see it when I'm looking for my cars now. I need a new car. My car broke down. Before Christmas, they were one price, and now they've started dropping them. I don't know if it's an end of year sale or a new year sale, but I think there's going to be a correction in the car market. Leave me a comment if you think that, what you guys think.
have actually gone up in price as well. The average transaction price is still nearly $9,000 higher than it was in February of 2018 for used cars. So what's going on here? Well, first we got to go back to the semiconductor shortage that began in the spring of 2020. If you'll remember back then, auto plants were actually being shut down because of the pandemic, and chip makers actually shifted their focus of their production to creating semiconductors for digital devices because there was a boom in computer and gaming sales because people were stuck indoors playing Fortnite. So when auto plants eventually restarted, chip makers weren't making enough semiconductors to keep up for the automobile production. So a shortage basically meant that prices were increasing on cars because if there's a big demand but low supply, prices go up. So something else has been going on as well, because you'll notice that if you're financing the car instead of buying it cash, call it interest rates. They've all been going up because the Federal Reserve has actually been raising interest rates to try and cool off the inflation. And that means it's more and more expensive to finance anything, especially a vehicle. And so now a growing number of Americans are actually paying over $1,000 each month on their car notes as auto loan rates have catapulted in recent months. Nearly 15% of drivers who finance a new vehicle toward the end of 2022 are actually paying more than $1,000 a month right now, the highest percentage ever recorded, according to the automotive research company Edmunds. So I want to know, what's your payment right now on your car? Is it over $1,000? Is it below?
Yeah, leave me a comment, guys. What's your payment? Where are you living in the world? What car you're driving? What's your payment? Genuinely love to know. I'm hoping the people watching this are way below 1,000. I'm hoping.
Go check out this video. It's The Minimalist, and they were talking about how this car dealership is asking random people how much they pay for their cars. She paid $1,300. This guy pays $1,445, and he has 2 payments. And this guy,
these are people working at a dealership as well. I'm assuming they got some sort of discount. That must be like one of the best things to work for. One of the best reasons for working at an actual auto dealership. But this is insane.
is $1,500. Yeah, these people are paying legit mortgage prices for a car every month. And it's interesting because you're talking about how financial systems are trying to normalize these high prices, these astronomically high prices. Just to give you a hint, I paid $205 for my car payment, and I would never pay, I don't think, more than $500 for a car on a monthly basis. And it's super scary how car dealerships and the finance.
Yeah, and she's not wrong here. Once they get you used to a price, there's a little bit of time where you think, oh, this is really expensive, this is expensive, but 3, 4, 5 years down the line, you go, oh, that's just the price now. And then they slowly rise it again. When they normalize these $1,000 a month prices for cars, they're not going to go down below that again.
System is trying to normalize legit mortgage payments for a car that you drive off the lot and it loses its value in a minute. Guys, be smarter with your money. Don't get into a situation where you are paying these astronomical, not normal car payments.
Yeah, and not all lease deals are bad. I'm looking at some right now. There are some relatively decent ones if you like really look around. So not all lease deals. I'm not trying to demonize all lease deals, but when it gets to these astronomical prices, yeah, it's one to stay away from, guys.
Hey Marcus, what was the highest car payment that you've seen a customer sign up on, and what kind of car was it?
Okay, it has to be like $1,250. It was the what was that car? Dang it, I forgot in my mind exactly. I can see it in my head and I can't remember what it is. Oh my god.
Hey Shane, what is the highest car payment that you've seen a customer sign on, and what kind of car was it?
Holy shit. I saw this guy did 26 on, what was it, like 3,500? Around 3,500?
2,600.
What's the highest car payment that you've seen a customer sign up on, and what kind of car was it?
I was an electric car, right? It was 1,800, right? It was on that Ioniq 5, yeah.
Wow.
18.
Hey Tomas, what is the highest car payment that you've seen a customer sign up on, and what kind of vehicle was it?
Well, you don't want to know the answer to that. It was, I think it was Bentley with $20,000 down, and the payment was in the thousands. I don't remember, 4,000 or 5,000, something like that.
5,000 for a Bentley.
Hey Victor, what's the highest car payment that you've seen a customer sign up on, and what kind of vehicle was it?
The highest payment was probably 250. No, it was like 1725. It was on a 22 Corvette Stingray, and he put like 10K down.
Hey Josh, what's the highest car payment that you've seen a customer sign up on, and what kind of vehicle was it?
I see a $1,600 payment on a 23 Ram TRX with $20,000 down.
Nice. Hey Francis, what is the biggest car payment that you've seen a customer sign up on, and what kind of vehicle was it?
Can it be someone that I know?
Sure.
$3,000 Audi R8.
$3,000 on an Audi, bloody hell.
Hey Carlos, what is the highest payment that you've seen a customer sign up on, and what kind of vehicle was it?
I was right at 1,600 and it was a
A
ZL6.
ZL6. Oh. And the
Yeah, it sounds like most of these people are on around 1,600. That's still really, really high. There's a few standout ones there, but 1,600 a month. Leave me a comment, guys. Can you guys, could you even dream of covering that? I'd have a heart attack every single month. I have to pay that.
car payment I personally have seen was $2,200 to $2,300 on a Ram TRX. He had a 400 score and he put $30,000 down.
Terrible financial decisions all around there.
Let us explain why this is not how that works. How having bad credit doesn't always mean a high payment, or having a high payment doesn't always mean bad credit. Okay. So let's say you buy a $75,000 car. Rashawn, do you have a calculator? $75,000 car. If you add tax to that, you're going to be at like $83,000, right? At least over here in Los Angeles. Divide that. 84,000. Let's just say. Divide 84,000 by 72 months. That's without interest. So my payment's already at $1,166 a month, right? If you add interest to that, you'll be at $1,300, $1,400, depending on what the rate is. So if you have bad credit, your payment could go up to $1,800, $1,900. If you have good credit, you get a low rate, you're going to be closer to $1,200, $1,300. If you have 0%, which means zero interest, you didn't finance, you're just dividing the payments, assuming that's possible, you're at $1,166 a month. So when you pick a car that's expensive, it's going to be a high finance amount, and it's going to be a high payment. It doesn't mean you have bad credit.
Yeah, this isn't exactly rocket science. Dwayne Saunders got it as well. Expensive car, expensive payment. When you start getting all the options on the cars and you get a really nice car, you don't go for the base pack, the payment just racks up.
What trends have you noticed amongst people that are struggling financially? Like, what are they doing with their money? Why is it not going in their favor?
Everyone's good with getting a 5, 6, 7 year car loan at 25% and thinks that doesn't mean anything. So that's crazy. I mean, what? The average new car payment, what was it? I think it's recently come out to like $800 a month.
Yeah.
It's insane. If 50% of the people in the United States, 50% who have a job, make $30,000 or less on a yearly basis, $800 a month as the new average car payment, that's insanity.
Yeah, Caleb's hit that nail on the head with that one. It's absolutely insane. And it's the main thing stopping people from generating wealth when you have these crazy car payments. That money can't be put doing anything else, can't be working for you, can't be saving it up, can't be investing it. It's literally just going on your transport.
What do we have here? Uh-oh. These car payments are really messing up some of your budgets. If we look over everything else, nothing's too crazy. You could cut back on some of the subscriptions for sure, and that would help. Right now, if we take the income minus the expenses, she's negative $46. Sure, you're using the spending tracker. That way you can see everything that you've been spending and maybe even where you can cut back. Debt payoff tracker is also going to be helpful for you to see your balances going down every month, which can help keep us motivated. Obviously, if we were to cut out some of these subscriptions and find a cheaper car payment, that would really help. But let's see how we can turn the negative into a positive for now. And this only works if you are slightly negative. So if you're negative $1,000, $2,000 a month, more than likely you're not going to be able to make this work. But in this case, it does work. Take the income, subtract the cash expenses, which are over here in the green. So after the cash expenses, she has $978 that she can then pay to the credit cards, which takes care of all of the minimums. Then they're going to take interest out on the balances that you owe, but they'll be a little smaller now. So let's say $78 for interest. We've paid a total of $900 down on the card after they take out the interest. So then we go back in and spend back what we can use the credit cards for on these other bills over here. $775. That means the card balances would be paid down $125. Now, that's still not very much. It's not going down very fast. Luckily, her credit cards aren't maxed out, which is a good thing. She also wants to buy a house, and with a car payment like this and an income like this, it might be hard to get approved for that loan because the car payment takes up a lot of your debt to income ratio. So we already know what I would suggest with the car, but do what you can to get some of these debts paid down, and then hopefully when you're ready to buy a house, you will be.
Yeah, and this isn't specifically carb related, but if you guys are in a bad financial situation, you really do have to start downloading some of these templates. I don't know this person or Ash all about money, but there's some great templates out there, and you really have to get a budget. You have to do this. You have to write everything out, know exactly where your money's going, and pay these debts down so you can get in a good financial position.
Highest car payment?
What's the highest car payment you've ever seen?
Did you ask me?
Yeah.
Am I on video?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
What's the highest car payment you've ever seen?
$1,500, baby.
The highest car payment I've sold is $24.65.
Man, you know the most expensive payment I've seen? Got $1,400.
My highest car payment I've ever seen was $3,200.
Yeah, these are all mortgage payments, man. You could get something so much better than just a car with these payments.
Oh my God.
If you're trying to buy a house and you're being told that your debt to income ratios are too high because you have a high car payment, here are the two things that you need to do to fix that. I'll preface this with you have to have owned your car for at least 6 months for this to work. Number one is you're going to get your credit score up. If you do not already have a 700 credit score, do everything in your power to get there. There are lots of great credit people on this app that are telling you things that you can do to increase your score. Go listen to them, try it, be consistent with it. It works. So what you're going to do is get your credit score as high as you can get it, and then you're going to go to a credit union like Apple Federal Credit Union, Navy Federal Credit Union. Credit unions typically have the best used car loan rates. And then you're going to refinance your vehicle, and you're going to spread it out to the longest amount of months that the credit union will offer you for your vehicle. Because when you're trying to buy a house, it's all about monthly debt. It's not about the overall amount that you still owe on the car. It's only about how much you have to pay per month versus how much income you have coming in. If anybody has any other tips and tricks, let us know in the comments.
Right, we'll do one more, guys, and then we'll get out of here.
13, 14, 1,200 on cars on one vehicle. The car payment. That is the thing. That is the gap that keeps the middle class from becoming and building wealth. The average car payment, $717 for one person. And if you invested that money just over 30 years at a 10% rate, that's over $1.4 million.
Yeah, and that's actually quite a nice one to end it on. The Ramsey people knocking it out of the park again. This money that you're investing in your transport, your loans for cars, if you were to put that in any other financial instrument, you're set for life. You are set for life. So yeah, it's getting out of control. I think 1,000 a month is going to become the new norm. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.